evening, everyone. This is the Anime Analyst US. I am your host, Thomas Fry.
And I'm your co-host Hassan Zabi.
And welcome to tonight, where we have a special presentation. We'll call it the Hurricane Special because we just come off a power outage from the hurricane. And man, it feels good to be back on the air. Let me tell you, that was a scary couple of days. I'm right in the middle of doing a show, Arafuta from Commonplace to World's Strongest, and poof, the lights go out in Kansas. And my computer didn't shut down right away, nor did I lose my internet right away because I'm on my office in studio is on a separate battery backup system. So, my system is set to where it gives me about 20 minutes of runtime to shut the computer down, but my batteries was kind of going dead. Not up on keeping everything, in proper condition. So all of a sudden I saw the 5-minute warning on there and I'm like, oh crap, we're in trouble here. And it was before I could get another word out, mid-sentence, bloop, everything went blank, went off, and I was just like, well, I looked down, I'm like, that didn't last as long as it should. It should have went 20 minutes, it went like 4. So I have a bad set of batteries in one of my backup units, and when you dump the whole system on one little tiny battery, it ain't gonna last. So I gotta get that fixed, but we will. So tonight we are redoing the app talk show, and the reason why is because the last time we did this, we forgot to add in now myanimelist.net, and we apologize to them for that. Well, I am right now, but so what we're doing is we're redoing the show. We'll make sure to add that in this time. And what we are here tonight for is we're going to go over each and every app that has to do with watching anime or checking out resources with anime, and make sure that you understand where everything is and where where you find stuff and how much stuff costs. Because a lot of places don't even tell you. I mean, Crunchyroll won't even tell you how much Crunchyroll costs until you find the cost screen, and sometimes that can be a challenge. I didn't find out about it till I clicked how much, buy now, and I was like, oh, that's how much it costs. Okay. So we are going to start tonight with High Dive because I really like the High Dive app. They got, you would think, the way some people say it, that they're like a B-roll app, and they're not. They got some really high popularity, popular animes on there. So this is what you see. Let me get my mouse. I don't know. I don't think they can see my mouse. So, all right, if you notice this is the only way I would ever own an anything or Apple computer or anything is using the picture of it. I'm a Windows fan. All right, so in the TV screen, we got the High Dive as you would see it today. This is how, when it pops up, it's got the main one that they're advertising. It scrolls through about 7 of them. And then you got what you've watched recently, your immediate history. Now, the important things with High Dive is how much it costs. All right, so if you look here, regular monthly fee for High Dive is $5.99. Now, is it different? You pay less for your High Dive, don't you?
No, high dive is same here, but the only issue with high dive is like we have to use VPN.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because I almost forgot to run through them. The two that you use is the one I'm showing now is Surfshark,
which is a paid one.
That one's $2.19 a month, and you get 3 months extra. And I would assume that means you have to pay the whole year to get the 3 months free. It's usually how those things work. And the other one I could not find because it's a phone app and I'm on my computer. the super VPN. I could not find the main screen, but this is the Connect screen that you would see, and this one's free. Why don't you speak your piece about these two?
Yeah, so the Surfshark also work on the mobile or on the computer wherever you want, but it is like a paid one, and it is like the best VPN you can use to watch the high dive. But if you don't want to pay for the VPN, you can use the super VPN, which is completely free, and you can still get the high dive. And I think that's the reason they don't. The high dive is not less because we are using VPN, so it's
That
same
could
all
be.
over.
That probably is that way. And they're not expensive. I mean, it's $5.99 a month, or it's $59.99 a year, and you get some discounts, Bill, and you get some pretty cool stuff with that. Um, Also, this is something you can do with High Dive you can't do with any other ones. Is who's watching? Now, I pay for my High Dive, but my best friend and my business partner, Hasnan, they don't have to. All they got to do is click on their name. It's under my login and thing, but it gives you up to 5 different who's watching. So that way it keeps your histories right. Because there's nothing more, I'm watching a series and say, like, I'm binging 12. I stop somewhere in 3, and my buddy likes it too. And then he stops at 5. Well, when I go back, it's going to show whoever watched it last where they stopped at, and that got annoying real quick. So I'm real glad that it came out with that on High Dive. But we do a lot, and we got High Dive Week coming up next week. So all next week, we are doing 5 animes from High Dive. And one thing we never talked about, we need to pencil in that we need to talk about, is a public schedule of somewhere they can go and find out what's coming up over the next. Because I try to keep it a month out on our schedule so we know what animes we're going to be talking about for the next month. Sometimes there's changes and, storms happen. That's going to be our new catchphrase around here, because twice in the past 10 days have I lost power for 2 days each, and it interfered with the shows. So, okay, so let's get on with the next one. Crunchyroll. Now, most people are familiar with this, and a lot of people don't like Crunchyroll because of political blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're not here to talk the politics, Crunchyroll. We're here to show you about the apps. So this is what you see when it pops up when it first comes in. And what a lot of people don't, they get frustrated because they don't know how much things cost. Well, this is the one that I have. I'm the Mega Fan member. I pay $11.99 monthly, and I had to rebuild all my information, so I don't have my other account goes back, I think, 7 years, but it's the next one. This is all of Crunchyroll subscriptions, tiers, and benefits. You got the fan tier is $7.99 a month, and you're getting discounts at the store, not a whole lot. You have free U.S. shipping on more than $75, and early access to pre-orders. Not a whole lot, but you get the anime. The Mega Fan, which is mine, you get 10% off, free shipping for $50. You get a huge vault on the games. You can stream up to 4 devices at one time, and I do that damn near in my office. I run out that because actually, yeah, so I'm using all 4 of that, and I borderline push my luck with that because I actually use 5 devices. I just make sure one's turned off, so I'm only using 4 at once. You get offline viewing, which is real important. And the only thing you get with Ultimate Fan Tier, which is $15.99 a month, besides some extra discounts on shipping and store items, is you get a swag bag. And I've gotten a couple of swag bags, and they're cool. You get a bunch of stuff from the store, some stickers, and it's a pretty cool thing to get it. I don't necessarily need them anymore, but now I want to start getting them again because I do. I guess I did like them. I didn't get one last year, and I'm like I found myself looking in the mail for the swag bag, and I didn't get one. So also don't forget they got it now. They have Crunchyroll has a huge store. And it's set up like Amazon, and I'm starting to think that maybe Amazon, you know, they definitely loaned them some techs, if nothing else, because that looks like Amazon. I mean, you could mistake it for an Amazon page. That's how much it looks like Amazon. But I bought stuff from this store, namely my Asuna, and anybody who's watched the show has seen my Asuna, my cat and my figurine. Um, they've got a lot of cool things that you can do, and one thing that Crunchyroll does that I've not seen in any of the other apps is if you want a job, they got open positions, and it looks like they got them throughout the world. Japan, pretty much every place in the European Union, all over the United States, Canada. There's a lot of it. Just right on the country roll, hit the menu, and over here on the upper left-hand corner, and it'll take you anywhere you want to go. And that was the only picture I took off here and didn't put back up. And I was like, well, I got two pictures of the same, and I realized the one I pulled for the drop-down menu so I could show that. It's easy to follow, and best thing I can tell you is play around. But we just wanted to make sure we got all their current pricing out there, and so that you understand what you're getting on, what you're paying for. So
But there is a huge difference in the prices of like Crunchyroll. Like if you want to get a basic Crunchyroll in Pakistan, it is going to cost you like 250 PKR rupees, which is like 90 cents per month. And if you
oh
want to
wow,
go, and if you want to get the Mega fan, which I use, which give you like 4 screens, it's like 350 PKR, and that's like $1.30. And I think the people should understand, like today my cousin, he showed me, like he didn't knew that I have the membership, so he showed me like somebody was selling a single screen for 400 pkl. That came to $1.50. So you don't have to like buy from somebody. It's going to be cheap if you go and buy it directly. There
it's
is also,
always yeah, it's always cheaper when you just buy the subscription and bite the bullet and pay the fee. And you get a lot for that, and you get it, it's all legitimate, so you can go anywhere you want on that site many times. But you've never told me that before. I didn't realize that. What do you mean by when someone sells you a single page?
so it is like that. Like I have the Mega fan, and I create I can like watch 4 screens at a single time. I can have 4 separate users,
Oh.
and I give 3 other people the access to watch.
We didn't say that. You didn't hear that here. That didn't happen. You will strike that from the record. He does not do that with people he does not know. We were just kidding. Crunchyroll. Ha ha ha. Funny, funny. That was a joke. Um, there are
And there is some
people that.
also stuff on Crunchyroll that you have to use VPN to watch. Like that's not available in the Pakistani region.
Yeah, I've noticed that. When I tell you, there was a couple times we were going to do an anime, and you're like, I don't get that. I don't get that season. Or there's a couple that you got a season and you didn't get all the seasons. You only got like season one, and like the rest of them, they weren't there.
Like
Um,
with the Reincarnated as a Sword, like I was not able to watch movies. Like there were some seasons, but it was not showing the movies to me. It
okay.
is
Um, wasn't there um
the anime, the Arifuta from Commonplace to the World's Strongest. That also has that same issue. Like I have season 2, but I don't have season 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I was thinking of one off a High Dive, and I couldn't remember the name of. Oh, Goblin Slayer. That was one you didn't have access to the movies, but you had access to the seasons. and I have access to everything. So, well, there may be stuff that I don't even know because I don't know because it's not there. But with your system and mine, we got something to compare it to. So it's a I'm sure it's just a country rules thing, and or whatever. But there is a difference, and usually when you get the VPN, the blocks aren't there, so you pretty much got access to the whole site, and you can check out everything. All right, so let me shut that portion down, and it will bring us to Mal. And let me make a quick screen adjustment. And why did my screen not adjust? Oh, because I wasn't on the right one. No, not that one. Okay, so... Oh. No. Sorry, folks. I was trying to get the thing because a little bit of the left side of my stuff is cut off here, so just bear with me one quick second. And that's that one. That's gotta be it. No, that's not it, but it is the same as... There we go. Okay, so now that I've gotten this move, I'm gonna have to just move it up on the thing and up over that image, and okay, there we go. Now we're full size and you can see it all. In the studio when we're running it, because of the lack of power, we tried to set up the show, everything to make it perfectly, and I apologize for the hiccup, but we do stuff live, so when I make a mistake, it's right there for everyone to see, so I apologize for the mistake. Let's get on with my, we wanted to go to All Manga first. All right, this is All Manga. There's a lot of times, namely in like Trinity 7, you can watch Trinity 7 in Crunchyroll, but you can only see it subtitled. If you go to All Manga, you can see it dubbed. So it just depends on your preferences where you're going to go. Now, All Manga is a free site. There's nothing to buy. You can't pay. Heck, you could barely register here. And I never understood it, but I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth and punch it. There ain't no way that's happening, and I like it. The only thing with this site is when you go to something like I picked anime. Oh, and let me go back there real quick. The blue is for computers, and the green is for tablets. And you see the little TV there, that means computer or television. And then by the little home, you got a little tablet there. Now, they're not showing a tablet of an electronic device. They're showing like a paper tablet, but it's the same thing, same word, just different definition. So if you go to the computer side and then say, like, I want to watch Nier Automata, and you go to that. Now, you have to scroll down and you have to look for it. See, it'll have sub down here, and then over here it'll give you how many episodes there are. There's 13 out of 12. I'll have to check that out later to see how that's possible. But now when you go to dubbed, which is, I opened it up here, it gives you, they got 11 of 12. So, and they're kind of backwards in the way they do stuff. They show the most recent one on the left side, and you have to click. Now, it does show the 4 most recent viewers, and I don't know if I like that, because I don't know if I don't personally care, but I know a lot of people, they're bothered by, if somebody else knows what they're watching or something like that. But you just click on that right there. That hides it. If you want to open up the sub, you click there. And, that's why it's 13 out of 12. It's got a 6.5, the recap. And there's not a recap, and they don't dub the recaps. Even some of the recaps on like SAO and some of the bigger names, the recap episodes are not dubbed. They don't dub them, which I always thought was weird. I would think there is. I mean, we were talking. I would love to create a dub, like a dub anime where alls we have is dub stuff on there, and if we're doing it and we can get it going, then we could hire our own voice actors to do the the point fives and all the stuff that they're never gonna dub, or animes that they're never gonna dub, and we could recreate it right from the thing. I know there's a whole licensing issue, but hey, all good things have to start as an idea, and then you take it from there. But this is relatively easy to follow. For me, I struggled a little bit in the beginning of this, figuring out how everything worked. But they do give you a lot of information about everything on this. And if you put on anime, you can select sub, dubbed, or just generic list. They separate their manga from all the manga, which is pretty much set up the same way the anime is. Or you can pick, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, and or updates. And then they have all your other information. You can check out reviews, other users. There is no privacy on all manga. So if you are a big privacy nut, you might not want to go to this site. But it's free, and they've got a lot of neat stuff on there. Now, their About Us page, I love this page. This is the only website I have ever seen, and I have written websites for money, so I've been around a lot of websites. There's 3 sentences on the About Us page. There's not a lot of information about us when it comes to all manga. I just wanted to point that out. No big deal, but I saw this and I had to laugh. I thought it was funny. I mean, I wanted to read some stuff, maybe company history, blah, 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 and nope, it's just all manga goals to provide you with the highest possible amount of daily anime episode manga chapters for free without any kind of limitation. And so forth and so on. 2 other sentences and you're done. You've read the whole page. All right, so that's all manga. Any questions you may have about that, we'll be more than happy. Have you tried the all manga in Pakistan?
Yeah, and I think it's easily accessible. There is no issue, like no restriction. You can use it without any VPN.
And that's amazing. And yet they, what do they call that when they selectively allow you to watch stuff off the pay sites? But if it's a free site and they don't, it's kind of funny. All right, now we got to take a minute and talk about My Anime List, because we use the ranking system off My Anime List when we're talking to you about reviews and about the different animes and what we're seeing and what we're recommending, because it is the one place that you can find in the world, and I mean world, that everybody refers to on anime and manga too, and several other things. But I like their scoring system. I think it's fair. It's a ginormous math calculation, and I found it one time, their calculations. I swear if I ever run across it again, I'm going to screenshot it so I have it. But their math calculations are like that long on a piece of paper just to figure out one little piece of information. These guys put some effort into giving you accurate information. But it is all done on what the people have to say. So, people go, well, I've heard someone go, well, you can't trust that. It's done by the fans. Well, so is the Globes. So is the Emmys. One of them is done by the Screen Actors Guild, but all the rest, MTV was done by fans. I mean, without the fans, you're nothing. So it's all done by fans. even voting in America is done by the people. It's not done by the politicians. So that argument carries no weight with me. If anything, I like it. Now, the reason they do all the math calculations is they're trying to verify and make sure that they can knock out any bots or SEO AIs. So that way someone can't vote up a particular thing. But, you can tell it's pretty accurate. Freeren's ranked number 1 with the score of 933. They hold the highest ranking on their system. And this is where we get our information from, at least 90% of it, from where it originally aired, what season, all that. And like I said, that's where we get our statistics, and it's the base of our searching. When I'm searching an anime out, I'm, Crunchyroll, Mal, and all manga if I'm just looking for it and can't find it anywhere else, or, obviously Google. But it's a really good source of information. They got stuff about the music on there. They got resources of all the different links that they can find. And this whole site's done by fans too. So, you can add information to it, and, not just anybody can whip out. You have to be registered and all that stuff. And it gives you where all the streaming platforms are that they found. And a lot of animes, I'm kind of surprised at, where they're being streamed at. I mean, Netflix is a pretty big thing. Anaplus TV's huge TV in Japan. You got Billy, which is I think Billy's Korean, if I'm not mistaken. But you got a lot of information that you can glean from a particular anime about this. So, I wanted to show you this. Their top anime. This is the current top 4 all-time anime right now. Frieren is number 1. Number 2 is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which I know is one of your favorites.
Yes.
Steins Gate, and I love this. I like the future crazy, if you go back in time and kill your grandpa, how could you ever be born type stuff, and then you got Bleach is number 4, and all these are above 9, but it goes to 10. Actually, it goes to 99999. You can't actually score a 10. That'd be impossible. But if you want to check and see where your favorite anime follows, if you want to recommend something, I try to click on. I kind of forget because by the time I'm doing all this, it's hard for me to leave reviews about anime everywhere. That's why I started doing the show. It just got so complicated to write in the animes. And as you see, my fingers they don't work anymore on a keyboard, so I have to use my mouth, not my hands. But there's a lot of stuff you can search out, and that's only on anime. I mean, there is so much more that you can do with. Let's go to an individual anime. Actually, let me go back to the search. So I clicked the wrong button. Sorry about that. We'll use Freeren as an example. You want to find a lot of people, well, it don't cost nothing for anime. Why are they oh, yeah, well, if you think it don't cost nothing to make an anime, you're a fool, because there are animes that cost $1 million a season or more a season to pull off. I mean, just think about it. How much money do you make for your job? And you have all these people from beginning. You got the different Freerens, for the different languages. It goes down to character actors. You got, let me get through all the actors. But that whole thing's just the actors. And I know some of these voice actors get paid top dollars. And you're going to be scrolling on this page for a while because it goes through all the actors and then for all the languages, and then when you finally get down past all the actors, then you start getting into the staff that really starting making some cheddar. You got producers, you've got, here we go, look at all the producers that are listed. Directors, sound directors, episode directors, it just, and that's just the directors. We're still scrolling down for this. You got a director for each language. You have, the list just goes on and on and on. There's literally hundreds of people that work on an anime. You're talking, it costs almost as much to put on an anime as it does a TV show in modern times. And then don't forget, on top of, a TV show just uses a camera. Well, anime's drawn. Whether it's drawn on a computer or drawn on a piece of paper, it's still drawn by illustrators. And then it has to have frame text. And then it has to have color text. And then it has to have assembly text. And then you have, so it gets quite complicated. But it goes into individual episodes for when they came out, how many voted on them, and all that stuff. Your stats, reviews, recommendations, news, you name it. Anything about most anime is here. And if it's not, it's, your responsibility as a proper anime fan to put it there. All right, so did we actually hit all our categories tonight?
Yes, we
I
did
think
that today.
we did. Okay. I'm pleased. I think the show went a lot smoother than the first time we did it. I know the volumes are better. The audio is better. I want to thank you guys for being here tonight with us, and thank you for being patient. We've had some issues with the storm, and it is Friday, so have a good weekend. We'll be back here on Monday at 7 p.m. To bring you another
With
great...
High Dive Week.
What?
We will be back on Monday with High Dive Week.
Oh, yes. High Dive Week is next week. I'm glad you said that. High Dive Week next week. I so look forward to these weeks. I love doing High Dive Week because I've seen all these. We're bringing a couple of the older ones in, not too old, but they're really good animes. So I hope you, and a classic. Next week we will be doing No Game No Life. So review, we know that is a staple. Anybody that's watched animes knows that No Game No Life was a important anime in itself in developing how anime would go in the future. And nobody, when they knew it or when they made it, they never thought of its importance that way. But it's a tremendously important anime, and we'll be discussing that next week. So have a good weekend. Enjoy it. I hope if you live in Florida, we'll say a prayer for you. I live in Florida, and I know what this hurricane was like. It was not fun, but we will see you on Monday. Oh, is there anything else you want to add? Sorry.
No, everything is done.
All right, you all ready to get to the weekend, right? All right,
Yeah.
So we'll get to the weekend. I'll stop saying goodbye, and we'll see you on Monday. Have a nice.